Morning guys, JD here, and I'm out walking around the crepe myrtles. If you don't know what a crepe myrtle is a tree that loses its leaves in the winter and puts them back on in the spring and blooms beautifully in the summer. It's a very easy tree to grow in southeast Alabama. They're everywhere. They have pink blooms, they have white blooms, they have red blooms. But there's basically three different sizes or types, and I'm going to show them to you. The first one we're going to talk about are the large growing ones. Those are the ones that are going to get 25, 35 feet tall. The ones we typically, there's a lot of different kinds. The ones we typically carry are the Natchez, on occasion the Muskogee, which is a purple, the Natchez is the white, and then the Tuscarora, which is a watermelon pink bloom. But first off, if you don't know what a crepe myrtle is, maybe that rings a bell. These are starting to bloom right here. These are some Natchez. These are the buds. These are the blooms. But these are the large growing ones. These are 30-gallon or 15-gallon pots right here. They're about maybe 9-10 feet tall right now. But they're going to grow up to be a large 30-foot tall tree that blooms white. You're never going to have any trouble with it. And it's going to be a really easy tree to grow. The only thing they really need is sun. That really helps them bloom better. So that's your first category of crepe myrtle, and that's the ones that are going to get to the 25 to 35 feet tall. The second group is the one that seems to me to be more, sorry about that street noise, that seems to be a little more popular, are what I call the semi-dwarf. These are the ones that are going to get 8 to 15 feet tall, probably 10 to 15 feet tall, and easily kept there. Probably 8 feet, you could keep them there. This is one of the most popular ones. They're not blooming yet. This is the Dynamite crepe myrtle. It's got some beautiful new red foliage on it, but it gets that bright red, fire engine red bloom on it. And people don't worry as much about planting these up next to their homes because they don't get that big and they're easily maintained. But the way you get that is that they grow slower. So they stay smaller because they grow slower and they're easily maintained at that height. And these right here, all these dark leaf ones, these are the ones that have become the most popular lately. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one is because of this dark burgundy foliage, almost black foliage. And what looks cool though is when they bloom. Yep, you've got this, look how the sun's coming through that, and it almost gives it that red look. Very pretty, very pretty. But what is cool is when they bloom. So this one has this is the Lavender Blast, and it's going to have the lavender bloom on it. And then you've got this is called Rumbling Red. Looks really cool with the red bloom. The one that's most striking to me are the ones that have the white blooms, and this is the Ebony and Ivory. But all these look so striking when they bloom up against this dark foliage. So the big thing to remember though with these, the Dynamite, there's another one we have over here. A lot of people come looking for a purple crepe myrtle. For southeast Alabama, that is the Catawba. You know, it's not a grape juice purple, but it is a medium lavender color. This is and it's called Catawba. This is a medium sized growing crepe myrtle, going to get about 8 to 10 feet tall. If you want a white one, that's the medium growing size. You want the Acoma. This is the Acoma, has some beautiful chocolate foliage coming out initially, going to bloom soon. So that's your second category of crepe myrtles, are the ones that get 8 to 12, 8 to 15 feet tall. Never going to be a problem in your yard, and we are really loving these dark leaf ones especially, and all these medium growing ones. You're not going to have a problem getting them a little bit closer to your house. So now the last kind, which I don't even want to tell you about because I don't have many and they're hard for me to get, is the true dwarf crepe myrtle. This is the one that gets 2 to 3 feet tall, gets gorgeous blooms on it, and they come in different colors. The one that we can get easily that does well for us is called Princess Lila, and you can see the pictures right there of what it does. There is a sweet lady, world-class majorette from Headland, Alabama, that has these in her yard, and they are absolutely beautiful. She got them a couple of 3 years ago, and she texted or called me and just told me how pretty they were, and she needed more, and she got more the next year. But this is a true dwarf crepe myrtle, stays 2 to 3 feet tall, and when it blooms, you can't even see the leaves. It's just completely covered up with blooms, and it's such a unique crepe myrtle. I got a bunch of these in the early season because it's kind of one of those things, if you know, you know. The people that know what they are, they've already come and gotten them, but we've got about 20 or so left. But this is the Princess Lila dwarf crepe myrtle. So, what did we learn today? Crepe myrtles, 3 kinds. The really large growing ones, the 25, 35 foot. The semi-dwarf, the 8 to 15 foot range, and that has the black leaf crepe myrtles. Probably the more popular group is the semi-dwarf because of the black leaf, and then the dynamite, which has the true red bloom, and then also has the purple one people look for, and then the dwarf, really small crepe myrtles. So that's what we've got, and I'm going to end up showing you, gosh, these right here. I'm going to back up without falling. Those right there, these are out here at the nursery. These are Natchez crepe myrtles. These are probably 25 feet tall. Really beautiful. They're starting to bloom now. So if you come out to the nursery and see a really pretty crepe myrtle, it's these Natchez, and these are the large growing ones. So love a crepe myrtle, not because it's pretty as much, but because it's just so easy. I actually walked over here, and the shade that these big ones make, it's got to be a 10-degree difference in the amount of shade that these beauties made for me right here. So crepe myrtles, hopefully that answered all your questions. If it didn't, I live at Dothan Nurseries 24/7, so call me or shoot me an email. Thanks. Bye.